do it. Drop it like gravity. Asses up, asses up, asses up. Then drop it like gravity.
I hate to continue to use Dan VOGEL and John DEHLIN as examples of fake Mormon scholars that base their research on gossip, innuendo, and rumor. But they're just too easy. I promise I'll move on to other scholars who do the same shoddy research.
Talk about money digging in general, because there's different kinds that use various devices to try to find the treasure. And they might use a forked rod, you know, where they put tension on it, just like a water witcher, and walk along and wait for it to dip. And they dig there. They're trying to get help in finding the treasure, or water, or salt sometimes, or whatever. They might be finding lost objects. So there were these people that thought these were scientific methods, and they were totally sincere. The rod especially, even now, they've tested people that use rods and how it works. They can never find the water. They've been tested. Nobody can really make it work, but they still believe it works. And they always have an excuse for why it doesn't work.
Dowsing rods made of copper wires are simply a low-tech form of a metal detector and based on the same laws of electromagnetism. In fact, dowsing rods are more effective in finding water than any kind of modern technology. Therefore, the dowser is very important to farming communities. Central Valley uses, major farmers use dowsers to find and pull wells, but also to find aquifers. Finally, most water companies hire dowsers to find broken water pipes, to find leaks.
So here is the independent article out of the UK, which is Wednesday, November 22nd, 2017. United Kingdom water companies still use magic dowsing rods to find leaks. And it goes through and states that basically all of the water companies in Britain are still using dowsers to locate hidden pipes so that they don't break water pipes as they're doing repairs or providing water to their various customers. And he goes through here, and here's the Anglican water company that routinely uses them, like water dowsers in Northumberland water, Scottish water. And as I said, dowsing rods are simply a low-tech form of metal detectors or water detectors. They don't have anything quite as good as copper rods used in dowsing to detect water. That's why they're still using this in the UK. Water companies, they use them in California. Farmers depend on dowsers to come and find aquifers and water, surface water, rather than just digging any place on their farm and hitting bedrock.
Thing called the idiomotor response, which is the same thing that makes Ouija boards appear to move by themselves, where the person doesn't feel like they're making it move. It's sort of like auto-suggestion. And the Ouija board would move, or they would hold the rod, and the rod is in tension, and just the slightest movement of the wrist will make it dip. Some people use the metal rods that are L-shaped that come out of their hands, and if you just twist your wrist just slightly, it will move. Now, these people that do this don't know they're moving their hands. So the reason why I'm telling you this is because I believe Joseph Smith Sr. was a rod worker in Vermont, and I believe he had a sincere belief that the rod would work.
Gee whiz, Mr. Brainiac. Maybe Joseph Smith Sr. had a sincere belief that the rod would work because it did work. And the science behind the rod and the dowser is called that simple electromagnetic law of Ohm's law. It's called the utility and limits of dowsing rods to chart the subsurface. And this paper is an analysis of a phenomenon known as dowsing using handheld wires. Dowsing rods move because of large changes in electrical conductivity, is saying, within the surface ground. Simple tests were performed on buried objects, few centimeters in diameter, and they did statistical analysis of the ability of these dividing rods to detect variations in conductivity within the ground surface. And basically what he's saying is here, significant changes in the electrical conductivity may be created in the earth by fractures, weathered horizons, and changes in ground size and composition. Coincidentally, these phenomena create permeability favorable for water production. The use of wire rods has potential applications in military, yes, we always go to the military, and civilian landmine and IED detection. So they're saying we can use them to find buried landmines and IEDs. But then it goes through here and discusses its methodology. The results is that the investigation found that dowsing rods did in fact move in a predictable pattern whenever it detected certain metal or certain water within the aquifers underneath the ground. And here's the map of the electroconductivity of the rods and showing where certain how the electromagnetism changes. Here's where no metal is, but if you bury a metal piece, you're going to have this rounding spiraling effect, and your rod is going to follow the spiraling effect of the electromagnetic, just like a magnet does. Remember your simple table magnet? Okay, all that spooky magic too, magnets on your refrigerator. Anyway, it goes on and it discusses the complex electrical forces which determine the dowsing rod's movement, and that is that simple electricity in the earth is governed by Ohm's law. Remember Ohm's law, okay? I equals energy. In other words, induction equals energy. So if you've got a negative magnetic pole, you're going to create a friction, an induction, and it's going to make those little dowsing rods move under. But you have to have the gentle hand of the master, such as Joseph Smith Jr. Yes, historians, before you charge the Joseph Smith Jr.'s of witchcraft, please do a little bit of scientific study. Okay, here we have electrical activity is a physical property of matter. All matter has a certain electrical signature, and based on the electrical signature, all sorts of things can be found. Here's sandy dry is a -410. Here's sandy wet changes. Loamy changes back, and then let's go into the clay. Hardly any electrical activity. But if you go up farther, okay, here pure water 2 is 10 to the -2. Dry sand is 10 to the -2. Sandy soil granite is 10 to 8 and 10 to 6. So look at quartz, 10 to the 14th. Wow, that's going to make your rods jump. Iron is 10 to the 8th. So I'm just saying, with the gentle hand of the dowser, they can feel these intensities and the vibrations.
Do it. Drop it like gravity. Scissors.